How'd I do, Tony? He gave me a thumbs up. Welcome into Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra. I'm Ben Brust, high on life today. No Greg Scalzo, no Josh DiMaggio. Steve the Homer Truth, the Emmy Award winner, with me, along with Chris Larson. Your mic wasn't on. There we go. Got to get settled into your new spot.
Should be on, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the spot is. Is this the proper spot? Or?
Yeah, you can sit anywhere. There's 4 other microphones wherever you're most comfortable. 800-990-3776.
I'm most comfortable where you are, but you have to sit there. So
yeah, don't forget your
so
soda.
Clearly, you're not that worried about how comfortable I am. I'm comfortable as long as I'm not in your place.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. It's very well documented. I may be very particular, specific a lot of things in my life, and I once, as you famously will never let me forget, did not help my 80-year-old neighbor take out the trash. So, how old are you, Homer?
I would be 69. That is pathetic. It'll be hard for you to do anything more pathetic than that.
We've made up because I've done some extra things for her. She texts me when she needs anything.
That's nice. That's good.
And the good news is for me is I'm so bad at taking care of my lawn that she hired somebody else to do her lawn because she knows I'd screw it up.
Yeah, I don't know that you're required to do her lawn. That wasn't the issue.
Well, I mean, I was supposed to shovel. So what's the difference between shoveling and driving?
Could be once in a long time. Mowing is on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Though I guess not, because it must be that some places aren't mowing in May. It's so bizarre.
Yeah,
it looks so horrible.
It looks horrible, and it's a farce.
I don't know what it is. What are you doing it?
So I pretended like I was doing it just because I was lazy, but people are doing it to help preserve like wildflowers and pollen because bees and all the stuff that's going on.
Oh, that's right. It was a bee thing.
Yes, it's correct. A bee thing. So we're trying to protect the environment by doing it. And Greg Scalzo and Josh DiMaggio are in the firm camp of, if you care about the environment that much, then plant some wildflowers and don't just do 1 month just to make yourself feel good. And I think that's fair. Yeah. I was using it as an excuse not to cut my lawn.
Which I think probably some people have. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's bizarre. But it turned into having a really hard first mow because the grass was so long. It was getting caught in my lawnmower. It's a disaster.
Well, you shouldn't have a first mow. You shouldn't have mowed yet.
Well, I know. Like I said, I was faking it. Then I was just like, all right, I got to cut.
Yeah, I think the people that are doing it, they should pass out a sign that says...
Yeah, there's a couple signs in the neighborhood with a QR code to learn more.
Someone's doing it for a reason, or they're just lazy.
Yeah, for me it was lazy, which is not shocking.
Because I don't know other past Mays. See, and I would think that you could do that in April.
Yeah, not really anymore.
Well, you don't mow that much anyway, so. But some of the yards are incredible.
Like incredibly long or incredibly nice?
Long, yes. No, incredibly long. I don't know what it's like at the end of May. We still have a number of days left.
Are you the mower of the household?
Yeah. Yep.
Is that like a fun thing for you? Because
no,
I did not enjoy it.
No,
people talk about enjoying mowing the lawn.
No,
and it drives me. It drove me nuts. I can't say drives because I've only done it once in like 15 years.
Unless you have a really big yard, it's not like it takes that much time.
I know, but if it's hot too, then you got the heat coming from the lawnmower and you're sweating.
No, come on.
You don't sweat?
No, you're going to tell me how tough mowing the lawn is. Come on.
It was tough because I did the half no mow May, so it was long.
Well, no, if it's really hot, then you do it early in the morning or, it's not. No, I can't say hot and it's just, but I probably shouldn't do it. My kids should do it. And it's a way for me to kind of oversee and just kind of watch what's going on. It's an excuse to mow their lawn and go, just kind of see what's going on here.
So, Homer, I got to start here because earlier today on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy 94.5 ESPN, Craig Karmazin, host of Sunday Karma from 10 to noon across these various stations.
He offered free tickets.
Free tickets to go to Taylor Swift for Jen Latta. Here is that audio if we have it, Chris. If we don't, we're good to go. Here is that from earlier this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
We love our time with Craig Karmazin.
Yeah, you
Craig
do,
Karmazin,
of course.
who I believe is going to the Taylor Swift concert this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Craig?
Yeah, actually, Jen, do you want to come?
Well, don't do this to me, Craig. Do not do this to me. Why? You have an extra ticket for New Jersey?
Yeah, you had asked about tickets, and at the time I couldn't hook any up or whatever, and we didn't have any connection. But I have seats if you want to come Saturday night.
Oh
I have
my
tickets for
God!
you.
What if we want to go?
Do not put me in this position. Do not put me in a
See, I don't
position where I
get
will have to
this.
fly to New York to go see Taylor Swift because Craig has a ticket for me. Don't do this, because I will go.
I think you
it's
should
New-
do it.
It's New Jersey. It's a suite.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Yes.
Jen, you gotta go.
Oh my
The Jets.
God! What are you
Well,
doing
now the
to
Jets
me?
say it's partially obstructed, but it's a suite and it's Taylor Swift.
And
I'm
you'll
sure
be
it's gonna
there, and
great.
Harper will be there.
And Aaron Rodgers will be in there also.
Aaron will not be in the Good Karma suite.
What are you confused about here, Homer?
Like, don't do this. I didn't. Well, yeah, do this. What do you mean, don't do this? You offer me tickets.
I mean, she's got three
taking the
kids
tickets.
and a husband.
Yeah, right.
You think you're like, if you were offered something, you would just not tell your wife and just go?
No, if I want to go, I'm going. I had that somebody offered me one time to go to the Masters for Sunday, and I said I'm going. Said, don't you need to ask your family? No, I don't need to ask my family. I'm going. Yeah, but they go, it's Easter. That's the only reason I have a ticket. I go, yeah. Well, you still don't have to check? No. Why? I checked. There'll be an Easter next year, and then there'll be an Easter the year after that. But no, somebody gets off, as much as she apparently wants to go, you offer me a ticket. I'm in. Or if she wanted 2 tickets, I think you talked about somebody else. There's no, don't do this. What? Don't do what?
So you think, well, this is your relationship you're talking about.
No, but the same way. I don't know, like anybody in the
What
family.
if your wife had said, like, I would really want you to be here
No,
for this Easter
my wife
weekend?
would also know, or her husband, how much did they wanted to go? We're not talking about you something minor. This is something clearly they know she wants to do. Yes, you're going.
I don't personally understand the whole Taylor Swift thing. I don't understand the idolization of people through songs that you would fly to New York to. I guess in this scenario, yes, but like if is there any concert you would fly to that you would go to?
No, but I'm just too old. There was a time when I would have done it for Bruce Springsteen.
That's it.
Yeah, but I'm just a terrible music person, so I just don't have that fascination.
So the closest thing for you is the Masters, because there's no way in hell I'm flying somewhere for a concert for anybody in this entire world.
Well, but then so there's not a concert that you want to go to. That's fine.
But I'm also trying to think of the Masters I've been to.
So
now.
what if somebody said, "Hey, you can go play in Augusta"?
All right, well then, I mean, but that's
what?
not comparable.
Sure, it is.
No,
Totally
it's not.
comparable. Yes,
There's
it
hundreds
is.
of thousands of people going to all these concerts for Taylor Swift. You have to know somebody at the Masters and be invited.
It's being invited to something you really want to do. I get invited to something I really want to do. I don't got to ask anybody. I'm going. We'll work it out, which I'm sure is what the case is going to take place with Jen Latta, based on what the last part of the conversation I heard.
So in terms of this, seems like it's all about expectations that you've set in your relationship.
No, I would expect that for anybody.
But that's not the case for
Well,
everybody.
It should be the case for everybody. I don't know how you can. If it's something that special, it's not, hey, I want to go to the grocery store and I'm missing, if you had some family thing, then you would say right away, I'm sorry, I can't.
So my
love to.
brother Jonathan has a wife who's amazing, and they have
Yeah.
6 children together.
Yeah.
You think that if he wants to do something, he can just say, and he really wants to do, he can just be like, hey,
Yes.
you got all 6 of them,
Yes.
I'm out of here.
If it's to the degree that it appeared with Jen Latta. Yes, there's something that he would take care of the 6 for her and something she would take care of the 6 for him. It's not a million things, and that's assuming there's not something already going on. Like you would know right away, man, this is terrible, this hurts, I can't go because of whatever it would be.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're offered a sweet ticket to Taylor Swift, the comp for you is going to the Masters?
No, I mean probably playing in Augusta. I've been to the Masters. But going to the Masters, Jack, on like Sunday or Saturday or Sunday, yeah, it would be the same. I'm going.
Hands down.
Yeah. But if something came up that my wife wanted to do
so there is a
something the
reason
same
why
way,
I'm prying in this conversation.
I know, I'm curious. I don't know what that could be.
My girlfriend, separate from anything that's going on here,
Right.
her and a friend are flying to New York to go to the same concert.
Right.
And I don't get it.
What do you mean you don't get it?
Why?
You're not the one who's interested. Your girlfriend wants to go that badly, then she goes. Just like if you wanted to do something real badly, she would be the same way, I would hope, I would think. You don't have to understand. She could go there to want to buy a snow shovel. That doesn't matter if you know it's something she really wants to do. The problem is when it's over something that, I want to go, and the other person, doesn't think the event is important enough to cancel everything else.
So I've also set this up for another reason, because someone I know,
yes,
800-990-3776, and I'm going to set this up because I want to hear from the Scalzo and Brust family, but someone we work with, Homer, is currently driving 2.5 hours from Milwaukee to go to Darlington, Wisconsin, to his wife's cousin's graduation party. His father offered to pay for his flight and tickets to go to the Foo Fighters, which is something that he wants to do.
Yeah.
He turned down going to that to go to the graduation party, even though he would rather be in Boston.
Yeah, see, and that just differs. I don't know because it just depends on how important that is to the family, or he's being really nice. I'm gone.
But that's what I'm saying.
Well, no, but that's
you said you earlier said everyone should go, and I'm in the camp.
But I don't know that family. Like
I'm telling you, he wanted to go to Foo Fighters,
right? But in my family, graduating from high school meant nothing. You got nothing, and my dad's answer was, "Come on." We kind of assumed you'd graduate from high school. All my friends got stuff. I never argued with it. It didn't mean diddly to me. I'm pretty much sure I was going to graduate from high school.
Are you the oldest? Where are you in the order?
No, I'm right in the middle. I was fourth.
Is this because all your other siblings went to Ivy League schools?
No, it didn't matter where you go. Graduating from, I know it's the same with our kids. We're not ending the world because now there's a guy who does on the Golf Channel, who's the European guy. He was doing the Sunday of the PGA, and he missed it because his kid was graduating from college. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, I mean,
I ain't missing work. Not the last day of the PGA, and that to go see my kid graduate from college. Come on. Now there will be some people and some families when graduating from college would be a big deal.
800-990-3776. Let's go to Josh in Oregon. Yeah, or excuse me, I guess we're in Wisconsin. It's Oregon.
That is correct.
Josh, what do you got for us?
Well, I guess there's a few questions that I would want to know beforehand, like how much money does his family have, and does he feel good by going to the graduation party and saving his dad not having to buy him a plane ticket?
Forget the money situation for a second. Like, it's the premise of if your dad wants to do something special for the son's not going to be like, hey, like, what's your financial situation? It's about making a memory with your son. I'm baffled. Yeah. The no backbone there to go to a cousin's graduation party.
I did this with a similar thing when I just went golfing and missed an important family event of my wife's, and I chose golfing over that, and it worked out all right.
Well, you set the right expectations like Homer would do.
Well, no, it just depends. Golfing seems like a joke to miss something, but if it ain't that big, then you went and played golf.
Gotta wait.
I'm not.
It was in Stevens Point with my dad and my brother, so it was like kind of a family thing.
That's good. That's memories. It's better than the event that you probably were going to go to. I'm okay with that. Thank you for the call. Not going to Foo Fighters in Boston to drive 2.5 hours to Darlington to go to a cousin's graduation party? That's bonkers.
Just better be something special about that kid or the party.
800-990-3776. You might be doing this right now, driving right now. Hopefully you're not with that person that you're going to do this with. What is the worst event that you have to go to with a significant other? Because I got some good ones for you. I mean, I feel like anything that starts with the word cousin usually is something from an in-law standpoint. It's like, oh, this is my girlfriend's cousin's blank. Done. I'm off. 800-990-3776. Tony Smith from Homer and Tony gave me a good one. We'll hear from you, the Scalzo and Brust family, and give our own next. Scalzo and Brust presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
Sherry and Muskego, welcome to Scalzo and Brust. We're presented by Bud Light. What do you got? So I am a gifted and talented coordinator for a school district.
Cool.
And my perspective, didn't mean it that way, but my...
No, that was uncalled for.
Sorry. It was, sorry.
I'll accept your apology because, wow. But anyway.
Scalzo and Brust. Available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Still seeing some heavy traffic along 94 eastbound as you're making your way in from 84th Street all the way to about Hawley Road on 94. Southbound on 894, backing up from Beloit Road down through the Hale Interchange and out to Loomis. The westbound side's heavy out of the Mitchell Interchange out past Loomis as well. And we've got some delays along westbound 94 west of Highway 16. They stretch for a good 2 miles or so past Meadowbrook Road. For the most part, though, everything else is looking pretty good. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 46 at the lake, 41 inland. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 68 at the lakefront, 75 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Even when you think you know what's going on.
He wasn't all
Josh,
defensive.
The guy in Chicago, Darvish.
You can never be too sure.
Josh.
You, Darvish.
No! The guy that screwed over Rogers.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
In the voting.
Now I'm interested.
Herman Atkins.
Hub Arkish.
There you go.
Morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Kessler's is famous
nationwide for diamond engagement rings.
But what most people don't know
is that Kessler's is equally amazing at wedding bands.
Engagement rings come in thousands of styles.
But not all engagement rings come with a matching wedding band.
No problem.
No problem. No problem.
You heard the part about equally amazing wedding bands, right?
That's real. We are amazing at wedding bands. We have a wedding band that is going to look fantastic. Fantabulous. Incomprehensibly good. With your engagement ring.
It's going to look really good.
Ricky.
I prefer Rick.
You need to work with us. Yeah, Ricky. Work with us.
Seriously, you're going to be extremely happy with what you find at Kessler's. Our sales associates are good at helping you find the perfect wedding band.
Much better, Ricky.
I prefer Rick.
Yeah, Ricky. Much better. Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely gonna need a cold one. There's the one. Back again with my pal, Peter Gentry, the owner of One Barrel Brewing Company. They're one of my personal favorites and are located here in Wisconsin. Peter's going to give us all the secrets about what makes the Ninja Dust great for summer.
Ninja Dust is an elusive drink, just like the Ninja that you've seen in movies. You want to have that one probably when you're feeling a little more fun, ready to party, maybe ready to go out. What makes Ninja unique is it's really refreshing, kind of goes with all of our beers, crushable, easy to drink. It's got a little more kick to it, as most IPAs do, but you're not going to get that sort of really bitter West Coast IPA on your tongue, so it's basically a good IPA for everybody to drink.
That's Peter from One Barrel Brewing Company. I'm excited to get my hands on some Ninja Dust this summer. And remember, folks, the fridge is always stocked.
Football guy.
I don't care how irritated you are that Jesse did that. The fact that it led to your imitation of me is more than sufficient payoff.
Football guy.
It's you.
Coming at it from different views.
Girls! I didn't know that I did that, but I guess I do. Go to the grocery store. We'll stop at Fleet Farm.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. And available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. It's Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
Should be moving on, but you're the one I want, crazy that I won't give up on you, so I hold on to you.
Happy Memorial Day weekend to everyone in the Scalzo and Brust family. Ben Brust here alongside Homer and Chris Larson, Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio. Get an early start to that. 800-990-3776. ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Who's grinding in Madison right now, Chris? Who we got over there?
Alex G.
3-Nip G. What up, dog?
I saw you added me on LinkedIn. I haven't added you back yet.
Why didn't you add me back?
I don't know. Like, you know, it was like, I'm a professional athlete now. Are you just a fan? Or?
That's pretty good. I might have to take you off number one of the ESPN Madison producers power rankings I did recently. If you don't,
that's out there. That's out there. Everyone knows.
The way that the world works, it's what have you done for me lately? You should know this, G. You always got to be providing value, otherwise someone passes you. Got pretty quiet there, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, like, you know, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, That's called, I got my tongue caught right there. That's Alex G in the Everlight Solar Studios in Madison. So I teased this a little bit because one of the worst memories I have of going to a graduation party, Homer, is I have a love for racing and Road America specifically. I talk about it on the show because I really do love that racetrack. I went there my freshman year for the first time, and I just kind of got an itch and caught the bug, freshman year of college, that is. And so then I met somebody in NASCAR, and this guy is a very unique story. He was the kicker at Georgetown, and he also walked on at Georgetown during the 80s, back when Allen Iverson, like the John Thompson, the really good era of that college basketball. His name is Brendan Gaughan. He also became a NASCAR driver. And so the cool thing about Brendan is Allen Iverson thanked him in his Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame speech. So him and Allen, they used to get after a practice. He wasn't the fastest, the strongest, obviously, but he made life hell for Allen. So as a college basketball player, I wanted to get to know someone in racing that had a connection to basketball. It was Brendan. So I ended up spotting for him. And if you don't know what a spotter is, in NASCAR racing, they don't have, a ton of mirrors. So they rely on one spotter in the circular tracks, those oval tracks, to tell them on your outside, if you're clear, if there's a car in the way. So you're like the eyes in the sky for the driver. And at the road courses, the 4-mile road course at Road America, they have spotters in 4 or 5 different parts of the track. So I got to spot for him for 2 years in the second series, the Xfinity series or Nationwide series at the time. And it was a rush because I'm on his radio talking to him, a part of like a real event and helping make sure that he's safe. I'm dating someone my senior year of college. The day of the NASCAR race at Road America, in which Brendan ended up winning, and I'm at a graduation party with the girlfriend that I'm no longer with. So that to me has always left a bad...
Why did you go?
That's the thing, is now I'm learning from all of this Jen Latta's going to New York. Well, no, I got to do what I want to do.
Well, no, again, there are different standards for that, If you don't go because you want to go to the grocery store, that's different, but... There was clearly some connection here, and
it meant a lot to me. I loved it. It was a rush.
So why didn't you say, I have a loyalty to this guy. I got to do this?
Because clearly I
what?
I
so
was
you
whipped.
Thought she would get mad?
No, yeah, I didn't want to miss out on the graduation party and make her upset. And it's a big regret now because he won, and it's one of like 3 victories in his career. I would have been in victory lane.
She wouldn't have understood how.
No, and that's why the relationship probably didn't work.
Okay.
Probably a reason. So worst places that you have to go with significant others. I thought your co-host, Tony Smith, gave a great one on the way out. Because there's nothing worse than having to go to a place where you don't actually want to talk to people, but you have to talk to people. He mentioned a girlfriend or spouse's or wife's work party. Because you don't work with those people every day. You get stuck talking to them. I despise when I go somewhere and I have to talk to people that I really don't want to talk to. I'm really bad at that. I feel like you will talk to anybody, though.
No, well, my answer to that is, in general, then don't go. I don't. Or then
see, you're an enigma. Like, do you just decide, like...
Well, no, or
I feel
you
like there's
go,
no give and
or you
take.
go
It's just take with the Homer
I don't know,
relationship.
you better call my wife, but you don't go. If you go, then you just go for a little bit and make an appearance. Then you're not there that long. You know, if the person has to be there for a long time, like when I do auctions or different events, my wife never goes. Why should she go? Like, I want her to go? Well, no, if she would want to go, but there's no reason for her to be there. I'm doing other things. I'm probably focused on that. So I'm just amazed that you couldn't say, I can't go. I mean, you sold it well here. This NASCAR thing is a friend, and I've gone, and I need to be there.
I know. Looking back, it's a huge regret of mine. I would have been in victory lane, or I would have spotted and got him in a wreck.
And had a terrible. It wasn't the fact that he won.
It hurt that he won.
You're part of that team. You're just not. I mean, it'd be
for
one
that
thing.
race.
Well, no, if you'd be one thing where you go to watch him race, and then you could argue, well, you could go to some other race, but you're part of the team, and. Sorry, I'm amazed you couldn't just say, no, I got to do this. I mean, I did.
Tell me.
I did break up with somebody. She broke up with me because I was a tennis coach and I had agreed to take this family to a tournament. And then her brother was getting married. She said, well, my brother's getting married. I said, well, I already told them that I'm going to be at the tournament. She's like, you're kidding. I go, no, I'm not kidding. I told him now. And looking back, that's pathetic.
Of you.
It was pathetic of me, yes.
But but here's the thing. I don't think it's pathetic. It's who you are.
No, it's incredibly selfish, and it was clear. I mean, I look back and now it just means...
It means that you didn't value that person.
Right, yes.
So it's good.
Right.
It's good.
Well,
it might have been pathetic, but it was the great accelerator of your relationship.
But I wasn't trying to be that way. I was just that pathetic as a human being at that point when I look back at it. But
how old were you?
21, 22.
When did you become not pathetic?
26, 25, 26, like that kind of.
What changed?
I don't know. I like, well, if you don't care about them more than you care about you, then you really don't care about them that
you
much.
You care
That's
about playing
kind of
Augusta more than you care about that person.
Well, but I mean, there are some exceptions. It's, you know, like I had a meeting with someone at McDonald's and I can't make her brother's wedding. That's a little bit different.
Is that where you met?
No.
Oh, I didn't know if you guys, that's where you were meeting before you drove him as tennis coach.
No. So, I mean, I'm embarrassed that even if you don't know how serious the relationship's going to be, you need to go to your girlfriend's brother's wedding. Come on. How could you be that stupid and selfish? Well, the answer is I was, so.
800-990-3776. Appleman in the Orchard chimes in. My wife said I could go fishing on Sunday, which is our anniversary. I did not even ask to go fishing. Appleman. He's got it. He's got it good. That's a wife either knowing that she doesn't want to spend time with him, or as part of their anniversary gift, he gets to go fishing.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know the particulars, but yeah, I think that's a great thing.
800-990-3776. I do want to get to some 1 or 0s. I do also want to re-legislate something that we talked about. I think you talked about as well on Homer and Tony. Who's under more pressure next year, Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers? Because we disagree. You say Jordan Love, I say Aaron Rodgers. 800-990-3776. But before we legislate that, I got to tell you about the action at Road America. I mentioned it as a part of one of my biggest regrets of missing that race in 2014, then Brendan Gaughan run. Camp on site all weekend. Enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under. I think that's incredible. It's honestly incredible when you think about affordable family fun. You can go do something at a place where it's free admission for kids 16 and younger. Think about all the different things that you do with your family and bring your kids everywhere. And you're like, I got to pay more? I already pay a ton for these kids every single day of my life. Well, not at Road America. That's why it's great. So go to the Moto America Super Bike Series and Vintage Moto Fest June 2nd through the 4th. That's next weekend. You can get your tickets at roadamerica.com. They're also gearing up for the NTT IndyCar Series race, which I'm excited to go to personally on that Sunday. roadamerica.com. Come for the experience. Stay for the race. Road America. 1 or 0s next on Scalzo and Brust, presented by Mick Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
Ben, you are talking smack to the women in the office about beating them left-handed and how you could torch them in pickleball.
I'm a douche. I know I'm a douche.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
All right, we are seeing delays, but they are actually getting better. We are seeing delays along eastbound 94 from about 76th Street to about Hawley Road. On the westbound side, it's doing a lot better. It's just heavy right in the stadium interchange. Southbound 894 getting better, still heavy around Beloit Road down around the Hale interchange, and the westbound side is heavy out of the Mitchell interchange out past Loomis. Northbound 43 is going to be our heaviest spot right now. We are seeing delays pretty much out of the Zoo interchange all the way up past Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mainly clear, a low of 46 at the lake, 41 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 68 at the lake, 75 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Traffic is brought to you by the Harley-Davidson Museum. Head to the HD Museum campus Thursday, June 1st through Sunday, June 4th for the HD Factory Outlet Summer Sale on discontinued Harley-Davidson motor clothes, merchandise, and select officially licensed products.
Wisconsin Harley-Davidson is ready for summer. Are you? Join Wisconsin Harley-Davidson on May 27th for their annual honor celebration from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Enjoy a ride to place flags at the Wisconsin Memorial Cemetery and return back for a day of honoring our veterans. Not a rider? That is okay. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson will have music, food, and so much more. Like and follow Wisconsin Harley-Davidson on Facebook, Instagram, and online at wishd.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The workplace has changed a lot thanks to technology, and more recently, the shift to a flexible or remote schedule. Your business must adapt to maintain a great culture, attracting quality candidates and keeping them. You need Smart Spaces. The team of interior integrators at Smart Spaces brings creativity and expertise, assessing the walls, ceiling, lighting, flooring, furniture, and audiovisual systems to create places that matter in the modern world, fully functional for those in the building and for others to interact remotely. Get started today at smartspaceswi.com.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution. I just finished writing a book about my experiences dealing with the IRS. It is already a bestseller. The IRS is the most ruthless collection agency in the world. They can seize your bank accounts, garnish your wages, and even take your house. The state can deny your professional license as a teacher, nurse, or other occupation. Do you want your employer to know about your problems? My book tells you what you can do so you don't have to worry about them ever again. Don't bury your head in the sand and hope the problem will go away. It will only get worse unless you step up and do something. We can help. We help reduce or eliminate penalties, negotiate payment plans, and represent you in tax audits. Make the right choice and go to rightchoicetax.us to book a call or meeting right now. We know you want to take the first step in getting the IRS off your back so you can live again. That's rightchoicetax.us.
Jordan Love has been extended.
And he will score. Love to Watson.
Are they ready for him to be the guy? Get ready for the Love era in Green Bay right here.
If this is Aaron Rodgers and he's perfectly healthy, you're going, they can still win this thing. Now you just need to have that same feeling going for Jordan Love.
On 94.5 ESPN and streaming live every day on WisconsinOnDemand.com, Twitter, and YouTube.
But he has been perfect on everyone so far.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
'Cause I'm lost in the way you move, the way you feel. One kiss is all it takes. Falling in love with me. Possibilities. I look like all you need. One kiss is all
Emmy
it
Award
takes.
winner Homer in for Greg Scalzo. I'm Ben Brust. This is Scalzo and Brust presented by Michelob Ultra. Chris Larson also in for Josh DiMaggio. Alex G holding it down. The Everlight Solar ESPN Madison Studios. Chris, let's jump right into some 1 or 0s.
Are you a 1 or a 0? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you a yes or a no?
There's no such thing as a gray area. Life is binary. It's just a 1 or a 0.
He is Steve the Homer True. I'm Ben Brust. We are contestants for 1 or 0. Chris Larson's your host. He's going to give us a statement. We got to say 1 for yes, 0 for no. There is no gray area. Chris.
All right, kicking off 1 or 0 on Tuesday. Seemingly every Packers reporter danced around what they believed was a pretty poor practice performance from Jordan Love by talking about his up and down or inconsistent day. 1 or 0, Jordan Love's performance in the OTAs or training camp matters.
1, absolutely. I mean, this isn't like he's a rookie. He's in year 4 of being in the NFL. And so he's been in the system. He has to take somewhat of a leadership role, and you want to see consistent growth. Is there going to be ups and downs? Yes. But of course it matters. You want to see not a lot of the same things you would hear about a rookie quarterback. You want to hear things that make you positive about a fourth-year NFL quarterback in the OTAs.
I vote 0. It depends on how he plays in the games, and if this gives you an indication that it's heavily one way or another, but it's way oversold because everybody's watching everything that he does. It's all the same will be to some degree even in the preseason. He's the starting quarterback, and
wouldn't you rather see positive things more than negative things?
Yeah, but we all know. I mean, we all know that he's somewhere in the middle.
How do we know that if we
all these things that people have talked about him? No, it's possible you're wrong, but this isn't that hard. Nobody wants to go there because they don't want to be the person that says that this is what we think. You
think people are scared to write him off even though they may think he's...
No, I think there's nothing... I've said this. There's nothing special about him. Hasn't been. Nobody's ever said anything special. But he could still be pretty good. And if Goody has a good team, you can win with a good quarterback. Pretty good. If the rest of the team is good. But, there's no indication that he's going to be special. And they had 2 special quarterbacks. And, so... you don't know for sure, but the people that have been around, they know and they listen to people and give you an idea what's expected.
Let me ask you this then. How confident are you in the Packers roster around him?
I don't think it's as good as... they're just all so young. I expect that the Vegas says 7.5 wins. I would say someone around that, yes. 7 wins.
I have the under personally, but...
But, people see stuff and... They're never hesitant when he does great stuff. But I don't know that they think he's just going to be terrible.
I will say it would make me feel better as a Packer fan if I was seeing a little bit more buzz about his performance.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that he can't grow and continue.
You're not expecting that. He's been on the team for a while. He hasn't played a lot of games.
When you have to pick out moments and you can specifically remember those moments, it's not a good thing.
And I don't care what anybody says. The biggest indication to me is LaFleur. I don't understand what he's saying at all. I'll be LaFleur. Kid can play. Young quarterback, it always takes time. You never know for sure. But people should know the kid can play. How hard is it to say that? Even if it isn't true, that's what you'd say.
Yeah, I'll take it a step further. I think Goody and the Packers organization not having the gumption to move on from Aaron Rodgers after they went 8-9 and just saying, we're going with Love, right? The fact that they were still sort of playing the game.
But they did do that based on how they talked with Rodgers. What you say publicly, it's you can choose differently. Their actions tell you all you need to know. They were ready to move on. Either they thought he wasn't going to be as good anymore, or they were
their
tired
actions
of his
didn't
stuff.
tell me. They kept waiting and waiting and waiting. If
No,
they wanted
didn't.
him,
They had talked to Rodgers.
No,
and told his people pretty soon after the season.
Way too late. Way too late. It was after free agency.
They're not going to do anything anyway. What is free
Now
agency?
that I
have to do
can-
anything?
that I can't argue
their
against.
philosophy is how they've run the team and how good he runs the team isn't going to change because they got rid of Rodgers. I mean,
I'll save this one for later. And I have plenty more thoughts. We'll move on to 1 or 0, and
yes.
I'll come back to this with you, Homer.
All right, moving on to 1 or 0. Chris Sims began his yearly ranking of 40 NFL quarterbacks and ranked Jordan Love as 31st in the league behind Sam Darnold, Andy Dalton, Tyler Huntley, and Davis Mills. Love ranked just ahead of Jarrett Stidham, Taylor Heineke, and Gardner Minshew. 1 or 0, Jordan Love is more likely to be off the top 40 list than in the top 20 next season.
I'm gonna go with 0. I don't think he's more likely to be off. I think it's more likely he's in the top 20, to be honest, because there's some bad quarterbacks in the NFL. Let me just take you through some of the names of players that were in the top 25 of passer rating, right? Just around that realm. We're talking Marcus Mariota. We're talking about like Mac Jones. We're talking about Andy Dalton. Like, there's some bad quarterbacks that are close to the top 25 in passer rating that, like, if he plays well, Taylor Heineke was above that. Taylor Heineke doesn't even have a job, like a full-time starting job. So it's more likely that he's 20 than off the list.
I would agree totally. No, but
it's like the top 12 to 14 quarterbacks, and the rest are
right. I don't know what Sims' record is in terms of being accurate in terms of where he's ranked people to be able to know whether that means something or doesn't. But
I think he typically tries to spice things up and garner reaction and create questions like we're answering right now.
I mean, the likelihood to me the most is that Jordan Love's just going to kind of be in the middle. He's going to be okay, and
that very well could be top 20 because there's a lot of middling quarterbacks.
Yeah, if top 20, I would say closer to 20. It also depends how you determine that. I always go by quarterback rating plus, but then other people use the ESPN QBR, which has never treated Rodgers as well as the other one. So I mean, you don't even know what you're arguing in terms of how are we determining whether he's top 20. That would be nice to know. But yeah, I think the odds are that much better that he's there. I think I've said he's going to be in the Packer Hall of Fame. So
Jordan Love.
Yes, I said it first to Tausch, and I said, you don't have to be that good to be in the. Wait, never mind. For a quarterback, I mean, Mikowski's in the Hall of Fame. I think he can do enough. He's not going to save the team. It's terrible to follow.
I don't know.
Follow two Hall of Fame.
I was going to say, I think the hard part of him getting into the Packers Hall of Fame is following two legends at that position. It's going to be really hard to justify a quarterback making the Packers Hall of Fame.
No, easy, because you look at the other one. Don Mikowski's in the Hall of Fame.
I know, but it's all about recency bias in the world we live in.
Not in the Packer Hall of Fame, no. The regular Hall of Fame, maybe. Yeah, the feeling that he's not going to be as good as the last two, of course, but that doesn't change how I'm going to view his performance as a quarterback. Whatever he is, whether he followed two bums or two Hall of Famers.
Chris, do that last one quickly.
And they're wrapping up here on Wonders. The NBA's competition committee is discussing potential of an in-game penalty for flops that would result in technical foul free throws. Trial is possible at the summer leagues in July coming up. 1 or 0, the NBA has a flopping problem.
One. I think there's a gamesmanship, and then there's taking the gamesmanship to a level where it's unwatchable. And if you can eliminate the flopping, but also like keep the integrity of trying to take a charge or trying to draw a foul, that would be a win for the league. There's no downside in trying to eliminate the egregious flopping that drives a lot of people nuts.
Well, other than that, you can't determine whether he's flopping or not. Like we now know. Okay,
yes, we do.
No, you saw
if it's clear and obvious.
Oh, clear and obvious. Yes. How the hell do you know it's clear and obvious? When does it become
when
clear
somebody
and obvious?
gets hit and then their head snaps back when they weren't hit?
Right, but okay, so then don't let your head snap back. The problem is this. Okay, fouls are called because a player gets knocked down. 99% of the time,
baloney. Fouls are called based off perception.
Whatever. If you're called for a charge, almost all times, it's the player falls down. All right. If you no longer made a call, if somebody falls down, we're not calling a charge. You know what? Nobody would fall down. Then the officials would be required to call a foul based on what the offensive player does or doesn't do, regardless. But once players would not get a call when they fall down, nobody would fall down. Just like just like this, now they have in college, anything above the shoulder is a possible, not intentional, because they know you can't, but a cause of flagrant. You know what happens every time anybody gets hit in the shoulder above? Their head snapbacks and whatever. Why? Because you can get it technical. It creates more of it by making
You think
it
it will create more reviews and won't eliminate it?
Yeah, nobody gets hit hard enough to fall down as often as they do in basketball. They're too big and too strong. You tell the officials, if somebody falls down, that should influence you not to call a charge. Guess what'll happen? None of the players will fall down. Now, once in a while, they'll fall down because they knocked
more
on.
with you right now.
Well, fine. How are you going to change it? You're going to change it by, oh, wait, that was on purpose. That was a flop. How are you going to determine when it's a flop and when it's not?
You ready for this?
Yes.
When somebody flops, you're able to the same way that if you get a certain amount of technicals, you miss a game. You get a certain amount of flops,
Well,
you get
know
fined.
if it's a flop and not a flop?
You can tell, Homer.
Oh, yeah, right.
You've watched
Okay.
enough basketball.
No, I'm telling you.
I don't know if you have. Are you watching the same games that I'm watching when you're calling them at Marquette?
90% of the time, it's a flop. A player falls down and doesn't have to fall down. He falls down to get a charge. So you call a flop on every time the player falls down, then I'll agree with you. Otherwise, you're just guessing.
No. There is as long as there is contact.
Oh, what exactly is contact? Just so I know.
What do you mean? What is
Well,
contact?
how do you decide
it's
it's
when
contact?
when there's physical contact.
Oh, well, wait. All right, but so sometimes you're going to have players that fall down, but it's not a flop, right? Right?
Referees judge based
Right.
off of guessing anyways.
Okay, well then guess whether it's a foul or not a foul.
You can very easily eliminate flopping by
what?
Okay, I will. What I'm going to do is when I watch the next Boston Heat game.
Yes.
If there's a flop, I will say there's a flop.
Okay.
And you're gonna say either if it was or it wasn't.
All right, and that's not going to change anything.
It's because no, it will because you're going to be like, yes, it was, and it's because it's so clear to the.
It's so clear. Okay,
We'll pull this. We will pull this. I can't believe I'm debating the idea that you can't tell what is a flop and what isn't.
Yes, you're debating that because they can't. They've had that rule in college.
They don't have my NBA ref explains what counts as a foul. Says my Apple Watch. I'll send that to you later, and then maybe you'll learn what a flop is since your naked eye can't see it.
No, because they all flop. What percentage of people being charged fall down because they're hit so hard they fall down versus falling down so that they get the call?
I can tell you in the moment every single time.
What percentage? Guys fall down all the time. What percentage do you believe those people fall down because they can't keep from falling down?
Percentage? Again, that will be eliminated with flopping. With flopping rules, that will be eliminated.
No, it's not.
Like a flop can be also something, in my opinion, of a late slide in.
You know they have this rule in college now. There's a flopping rule. Gets
Correct.
called once in a million. Apparently, it hasn't changed college basketball at all. Players defend exactly the same way they did before the flop.
Well, I would argue NBA refs are actually better than college refs.
Okay,
so they should be able to legislate it a little better.
We'll wait till it happens, and it'll fail the same way.
As to quote you, next.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
Ben Brust measured in at 6 feet, 6 foot 7/8, and he goes by 6. Well, now he goes by 6'1". He used to claim he was 6'2".
I'm still 6'2" with shoes, so I'm gonna still go by 6'2".
What's the ruling?
He's crazy. Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Football guy.
I don't care how irritated you are that Jesse did that. The fact that it led to your imitation of me is more than sufficient payoff.
Football guy.
It's you.
Coming at it from different views.
Girls! I didn't know that I did that, but I guess I do.
Go to the grocery store. We'll stop at football.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. And available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Backed by popular demand, head to the HD Museum campus Thursday, June 1st through Sunday, June 4th for the HD Factory Outlet Summer Sale on discontinued Harley-Davidson motor clothes, merchandise, and select officially licensed products. Don't miss this chance to shop over 4,000 items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, outerwear, hats, gloves, leather jackets, and so much more. While supplies last, the HD Factory Outlet at the Harley-Davidson Museum is your destination for discontinued HD merchandise.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor. If it's a celebrate or tailgate, when you're gonna recreate upstate. If it's a holiday, birthday, any date, you can save a discount liquor.
It's the world's largest music festival, and you'll be there compliments of Discount Liquor. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. There is no other party like Summerfest. Stop in and receive a free Summerfest ticket when you purchase 2 12-packs of 16-ounce Miller Lite or Coors Light cans, or 1 12-pack any Vizzy Hard Seltzer or Arnold Palmer spiked half and half. Visit us at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and in Barstow and Maine in downtown Waukesha.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
See us for your free Summerfest ticket and check out our specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com.
Discount Liquor.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I think my battery's dead.
With free battery testing and charging, AutoZone is here to help.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
What if I need a new one?
We have the right batteries right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone,
And what if I don't know how to connect it?
No problem. We have a how-to for you at AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Meet Joe A, Joe B, and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Jordan Love has been extended.
Speed, and he will score. Love to Watson.
Are they ready for him to be the guy? Get ready for the Love era in Green Bay right here.
If this is Aaron Rodgers and he's perfectly healthy, you're going, they can still win this thing. Now you just need to have that same feeling going for Jordan Love.
On 94.5 ESPN and streaming live every day on WisconsinOnDemand.com, Twitter, and YouTube.
But he has been perfect on everyone so far.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
I thought I had you on hold. I thought I had you on hold.
Homer doesn't know how to tell when somebody's flopping in basketball is not what I expected to learn today.
90% of the time a player falls down, it's a flop, meaning he doesn't and wouldn't have to fall down except he believes it will help increase the chances of getting a charge call. All you're talking about is the flailing of arms.
90% of time.
90%
that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, then change the rule and we'll see what happens.
We will.
Yeah.
I hope they put it in. And I hope
once the player knows that falling down
the worst thing that college did when you talked about bringing up that there's a rule in flopping is they did a warning first. There should be no warning. If you flop, it should be.
They don't call it either way.
They would. That's what I'm saying. There's always like, oh, flop. College refs stink. I think the NBA refs would do a better job at putting in a flop.
Yeah, like the NBA does a much better job at the 3-second calls. Doesn't exist.
Who complains about defensive 3 seconds?
It doesn't exist, and it doesn't exist in college, and it doesn't exist in the pros.
What are you talking about?
They won't do any better. They won't do any better handling flops than college will.
Teddy in Watertown chimes in, slowly realizing Homer's just too old to understand, Ben, and I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more.
Old have anything to do with
it? It has everything to do with it,
no,
Homer.
It doesn't. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's just age discrimination. Just say I'm wrong. Oh, no, he's wrong because he's old.
In regards to our conversation around Jordan Love, Jake from Milwaukee chimes in, call me crazy, I'm not worried about Jordan Love. LaFleur is supposed to run a similar offense as to Kyle Shanahan. If Purdy can do it, Love can. It's different dynamics with Rodgers. J-Lo is going to run it how it's supposed to. This is where I'm scared for expectations. This is... Do we know the skill position players the Packers are putting out this year compared to what the Niners did last year? That is a very, very scary expectation to have when you are Jake in Milwaukee. You know why? Because they had Christian McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and then one of the best offensive lines in football. What do the Packers have that is better in any position? I mean, I love Aaron Jones, but Christian McCaffrey's better. He is.
No, you're right. The difference of what's available in talent is dramatic.
I just think, like, again, when it comes to the expectations that Packers fans have for Jordan Love, be careful because of everything that you had said earlier. If he was really, really good, we would know about it. I believe in my heart of hearts, we would know how special Jordan Love is. By actions from the front office, by actions and talking points from Matt LaFleur,
right.
By actions and talking points from the local Packers media. When we're hearing from Jason Wilde, which he appears on your show every day, he appears on Scalzo and Brust on Mondays. A lot of times we'll ask questions in comparison to what it was like when Rodgers was a rookie. Whether that's fair or unfair, I think it's fair because they were both going through a phase in which you got to see them.
He's not going to be as good as Aaron Rodgers.
But my overall point is, it was always like Aaron did 2 or 3 things per practice that stood out as wow. I'm still waiting for he did 2 or 3 things in OTAs or practice that stood out as wow, and he's in his 4th year. Now, he hasn't had in-game experience. It doesn't mean he can't be successful. I think in terms of if you think he's going to be special and help you get to the playoffs this year, I think you're setting yourself up for a disappointing season as a Packer fan. Is that fair?
Yeah, but he could still be good. It's also based on what you think of the quality of the team.
Yeah, and again, we discussed that. I just, with Joe Barry as the defensive coordinator, I question that. I think they have enough talent. You would think they would have enough talent with the round of first rounders and investments they've made financially with extensions, and also signing free agents in Douglas and Campbell, who had good seasons that they've invested in. You look around each position group, there is investments of the first round or from a monetary standpoint. Can Joe Barry be the guy there? Offensively, I'm actually pretty bullish about what they've done in terms of position groups and how they've drafted and who they have, but that's going to take time. It's like even Watson and Dobbs. I love Watson, but like, can he stay healthy for an entire year? When he's the number 1 guy, is he able to be a number 1 wide receiver? Dobbs, again, he was the talk of training camp last year. Is he going to be a guy that you can rely on as a number 2 wide receiver in his 2nd year? That's a tough thing to ask. And then anytime you got rookies, there's going to be growing pains.
No, those are all legitimate questions. That's the unknown. There's no way you haven't say, all right, but this, and this that all makes you feel really positive. And so you're on the edge, and that's why they're picked to win 7.5 games.
Coming up next, I want to play some sound from a movie in which I think is the best way to describe what Packers fans' expectations should be from Jordan Love. And I wonder if you've seen this movie. We'll hit it next in 2 minutes on Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra. Homer in for Greg.
Thanks
things are still a little bit on the slow side. Westbound 94 as you're getting past Highway 16 in Waukesha County all the way to about Elmhurst Road. So keep that in mind, just that heavy pocket there. Eastbound 94 had an earlier accident at Mitchell Boulevard. That is now gone, so that's eased up. Northbound still a bit heavy on 41 out of the Zoo Interchange up past Swan Boulevard, and northbound 43 from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Capitol Drive. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Mainly clear, a low of 46 at the lake, 41 inland. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 68 at the lake, 75 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Wisconsin Harley-Davidson is ready for summer. Are you? Join Wisconsin Harley-Davidson on May 27th for their annual honor celebration from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Enjoy a ride to place flags at the Wisconsin Memorial Cemetery and return back for a day of honoring our veterans. Not a rider? That is okay. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson will have music, food, and so much more. Like and follow Wisconsin Harley-Davidson on Facebook, Instagram, and online at wishd.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
Cousin Sub's Game Day giveaway is back. This is your chance to win a $400 Ticket King gift card to purchase tickets to an upcoming sporting event of your choice. Enter at cousinsubs.com/Game Day giveaway now through July 30th. One grand prize winner and 11 guests will enjoy a suite at the Friday, August 25th baseball game in Milwaukee. The grand prize includes game tickets, parking, food, and beverages. Enter at cousinsubs.com/Game Day giveaway. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Ben Brust here. Catch Scalzo and Brust weekdays 4 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6. It's Scalzo and Brust.
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue.
It's a party, baby.
This is Scalzo and Brust. Woo. Presented by Michelob Ultra.
It's a party, baby.
On 94.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
It's a party, baby. Woo. It's a party, baby.
Scalzo and Brust taking you into the Memorial Day weekend. Ben Brust here alongside Homer, who's in for Greg. Chris Larson in for Josh DiMaggio, and Alex G holding it down at the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. 800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-ESPN is the number if you want to get involved on our ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. So, there's been a lot of talk about the pressure of who's under more pressure. Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers, and it just started to get into a conversation where it was more to me about like, where are expectations for Jordan Love? And where should expectations for Jordan Love be? And in my opinion, I think I discovered the best way for Packer fans to look at this upcoming season and how they should look at Jordan Love. And it comes from a movie. Have you seen the movie Dodgeball, Homer?
Yes, I have. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wonderful. We'll see if you remember the quote.
I don't.
I found that if you have a goal, that you might not reach it. But if you don't have one, then you are never disappointed. And I got to tell you, it feels phenomenal.
If you don't have expectations for Jordan Love and he's great, it's going to feel phenomenal. And if you don't have expectations for Jordan Love and he's bad, you're going to feel phenomenal. And so to me, that's the way it should be. Because if he does anything just good, you're going to be happy about that. And if he's bad, well, you kind of have another opportunity to maybe go back to the draft. Get Aaron Rodgers play 65% of the snaps. If he's bad, they're likely going to have a higher pick in next year's draft. They can use the pick that they have, plus the pick that they hopefully get from the Jets in the first round, and go back at it again.
You want me to respond to that? It has absolutely nothing to do with the pressure on Jordan Love.
I'm trying to make sure that people have the right expectations for Jordan Love.
What are the right expectations?
What do you think the expectation should be for him? Because people don't know.
Again, with young players, I want to judge how good he looks when he looks good versus how bad he looks when he looks bad. So
you're looking for the flash more than you're looking for.
Yeah, well, because it's there are difficulties for all great quarterbacks. Many struggled their first year. Often has to do if the team they're on is in any
Does it
good,
change though that he's been with the team for 4 years?
No, it helps a little, but he hadn't played.
I know he hasn't played, but he's been in the system.
Yeah. Well, I could have been in the system. Say I was in the system. What would you think about me coming out and playing?
You didn't get traded up for the first round.
So being in the system, well, then your issue is that he's a first-round pick and that he should be good. Being in the system doesn't affect anything.
It absolutely affects everything.
What other player have you thought about? Well, he's been in the system, so now he's going to be much better than he is.
Homer, when I went into college, right, there's a system. The system I was not ready for my freshman year.
Right.
I couldn't guard my shadow.
Right.
I was so bad at defense that I had to learn how to play defense.
Right.
And so even though I didn't play in games, I would learn to play defense in practice. I would learn to do the right things. And I would, in scout team, play well on offense. And so that next year, I developed in the system. So to completely throw out the fact that he's been there 4 years and make it seem...
It's a little, whatever. That the stuff with you still had to have the skills that you had.
Exactly.
Right? Okay, so it comes down to the skills that he has.
But he also has, there is a benefit to him learning over the last 4 years.
10% of benefit, right. Okay, 10%.
So of Jordan Love, the expectation that you have, does it just is it just simple as you need to see him play now?
Yes, that's what you do with every player.
So what are you going to do for the next 6 months? Before he plays,
I'm going to observe and listen to people who saw him at practice and things like that.
Well, apparently that's going to be like 1% of what you're going to think about what your expectations should be.
Those people watch him, and it could be now that he's the guy, he's the man. He spent 3 years. No one even knew if he showed up. He was doing nothing or very little. Now he's the guy. So this is when he starts, right? So now you see how he adjusts to all different things because it matters. Just like when he talked to the press.
800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-3776. What are your expectations for Jordan Love? Because it's kind of an impossible question to answer. And that's why I tried to bring it in with, I think you just set your expectations low, because if he's good, you're going to be happy. If he's bad, you still have a contingency plan of going to get another quarterback.
Fine, if that's how you just want to make stuff up.
That's not making stuff up. That's setting yourself up for success as a Packer fan. Because you're following two Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Well,
when you're following two Hall of Fame...
All right, he's not going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's not going to be as good as those two. Next. There's no debate on that. It could happen, but it would be like swimming to the moon. Could happen, but I wouldn't bet on it. No. So now it's how good is he going to be? Well, we'll see. He was picked early. People believed in him. I think he'll be okay. But I'm not. No one says, the difficulty certainly is that you follow two guys. If some people have higher expectations, I can't waste my time worrying about them. Like they're not gonna say, well, and people think this way because the last two are fine. Let them think whatever they want. They're not very smart.
800-990-3776. Welcome Jeff and Madison into Scalzo and Brust with Ben and Homer. Welcome into the show.
Ben, I'm going to do you a solid here and politely put Homer in his place. To say, first of all, 10% is a lot when you're talking about greatness.
No, it's
a lot.
Give me a break.
It's a lot. Second of all, it is absolutely ludicrous to say
so go from
that
60
getting
hey,
Homer,
hold on,
the game.
Go from 60 to 70%. How's that change your grade?
A whole
yeah, it means a lot. 10% means a lot when you start at 90.
Are you going to let me talk, Homer? It is your show. I'm happy to hang up.
Hold on, then hang up. Not when you say something that I want to challenge. Now go ahead.
You can challenge every single thing I said, regardless of whether or not it's your show or not. I'll happily listen to you. To say that playing the hardest position in football a player does not benefit from not only learning the system, but getting used to game speed, getting used to the athletes around them that are more than 10% better than the athletes that were around them in college.
Especially when you
To
come
say
from the Mountain
how
West.
many first-round quarterbacks that have been thrown to the Wolves day one or even week 9 have we seen just fail miserably, and not only fail in that season, but have their careers literally shortened by not getting that development opportunity. And we point no further than Aaron Rodgers.
I was going to say, he credits the 4 years that he had to sit out helped him.
Absolutely. Come on, man. Homer, I love you. You're smarter than this.
No, you're smarter than to think that made him a Hall of Fame quarterback.
He's not saying that made him a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's saying it had a good impact in helping him have
10%. Yeah, exactly what I said. 10%. You nailed it. Yes, thank you.
Thank you for the call, Jeff. 800-990-3776.
So without those years, you don't think Aaron Rodgers? First of all, I disagree with the issue also that these guys were ruined by not having an appropriate amount of time. How many guys have then moved on and had a second chance and it changed that much? No, they're ruined for life. No, they just weren't that good. Aaron Rodgers was really good wherever he played.
Yeah, I completely disagree because the only time we've recently seen first-round quarterbacks, like, they're ready earlier now.
That's correct.
They definitely are.
Right.
But I still think if that's the case, then he should be able to use the 4 years to better himself. That helps him be in a place where hopefully we're not waiting on reports from different people that are negative. There should be more, like, we should be feeling more positivity because they're ready quicker, and he's been in the system 4 years, that he should be ready to go and be able to pick it up. And I'd say the only thing that I feel bad for is I agree with Jason Wilde with this, is I don't think the Packers have set him up to be super successful in his first year due to the youth around him in the skill position. I think you should definitely be excited as Packer fans and the tight ends and the wide receivers because they're young, and that's something to be excited for. But in terms of being ready to play at a high level in the NFL, that takes time, especially at the tight end position. How many good tight ends do you see as rookies?
Yeah. So no, they haven't created a lot of people around him that will make it easier.
And that's again where I go back to what are the expectations, because
that could lower him a little bit. But again, you'll still judge like, I'm feel even better about my 10%.
Of course you do.
No, because all those things. It's supposed to do this, supposed to do that. Well, if he's not very good, how much is it going to help? Not much. And if he's really good, but there's no way to say for sure that Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have been as good or would have been as good. It's the same way they say with Brett Favre. Like Mike Holmgren made him. And my answer is he may not have been as good for long or first ballot Hall of Famer.
I was going to say, if you're good, you're good, because Bill Belichick was bad for 2 different franchises and then became the greatest of all time.
Not as good. And he didn't have Tom Brady.
Water Joe is water with a work ethic. I've been loving having my energy boost in the afternoons. You get that 1:30, 2:30 time. Maybe you ate too much for lunch, especially today. I had big lunch, and then I was like, I need something to give me the boost. That's Water Joe for me. It's simply water with caffeine, that healthy and clean energy with a great, no off taste. So like when I think about it, I pour it into my water bottle and get some ice with it, and it's just like I'm drinking water, but I know I'm going to get that boost with it. 85 milligrams. It's so easy to supplement not doing the sodas, not doing the energy drinks, because when you think about it, you're getting that same boost, but that clean, healthy energy. Maybe you're hungover, need a boost, Water Joe. Maybe you're going to go to a family party that you want to go to, or graduation, and you need a boost because you have to talk to people, Water Joe. Whatever your situation is, bring Water Joe to the party. Pick it up at any of your favorite local retailers. We go pole dancing across all of the stations of ESPN Wisconsin next.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
So weird that the one thing you're humble about is the thing you're best at, and everything else that you stink at, you think you're the greatest at.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Things are starting to wind down or around the area, we do still have a little bit of a heavy ride. Eastbound 94 from 84th Street to about Hawley Road. Northbound 41's a bit tight from the zoo up past Swan Boulevard. And 43 northbound is slow in pockets from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Capitol Drive. We also got some word that there is some delays on 41 northbound heading out of Lomira all the way into the southern part of Fond du Lac. So just be very careful around there and give yourself some extra time. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Mainly clear, a low of 46 at the lake, 41 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 68 at the lake, 75 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Traffic is brought to you by the Harley-Davidson Museum. Head to the HD Museum campus Thursday, June 1st through Sunday, June 4th for the HD Factory Outlet Summer Sale on discontinued Harley-Davidson motor clothes, merchandise, and select officially licensed products.
One's a Marquette Hall of Famer.
You know who writes Wikipedia?
What?
People.
The other may or not make things up from time to time.
99% of the information about you in Wikipedia is accurate.
Homer and Tony.
American retired professional basketball player. Accurate. Played high school ball at Tulsa East. Accurate. Retired as number 34 at ceremony in 2007. Accurate. Luckiest thing of his life to work with Homer. Accurate.
Inaccurate.
Accurate.
Weekdays 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley love their new patio door from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It's like having a brand new kitchen. It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside, no drafts. It's a game changer.
Get 0% interest for up to 48 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and have everything installed in as little as a day. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 5/31/2023.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Back by popular demand, head to the HD Museum campus Thursday, June 1st through Sunday, June 4th for the HD Factory Outlet Summer Sale on discontinued Harley-Davidson motor clothes, merchandise, and select officially licensed products. Don't miss this chance to shop over 4,000 items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, outerwear, hats, gloves, leather jackets, and so much more. While supplies last, the HD Factory Outlet at the Harley-Davidson Museum is your destination for discontinued HD merchandise.
Hey, this is Bo stepping in for Ridgetop Larry. Ridgetop Exteriors is Wisconsin's #1 choice for roofing, siding, windows, and doors. We are the trusted local experts who live and work in the areas we serve, which means we're helping friends and neighbors too. On top of that, Ridgetop Exteriors offers the most affordable payment options, including no interest and low interest financing. For your free estimate, visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com.
Homer, Tony, living in perfect harmony. Yeah, right.
Jordan Love stinks next year. You think he's out of the NFL?
As a starting quarterback, yes, he might.
You think
not.
he's out?
No, I mean,
no. You just said might.
No, I'm saying starting quarterback.
You just
He could
said
be.
might.
I know, because he could be a backup. Whatever the hell that's worth. That's worth nothing. As a starter, he could be done.
Could be, yeah,
Okay.
but he could not be. Also, it's not a do or die.
Well, that's a hell of a concern.
Listen to Homer and Tony weekdays from 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN and wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. It's Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
Scalzo and Brust presented by the Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Ben Brust here alongside Homer, who's in for Greg Scalzo, Chris Larson for Josh DiMaggio. 800-990-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line if you want to get into the show. But right now, it's time to go pole dancing.
They've got questions, and we've got answers. Time to give the people what they want. Let's go pole dancing on Scalzo and Brust.
Every week we go up and down the dial from 94.5 ESPN to 100.5 ESPN in Madison. From Rutledge and Hamilton to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, to Homer and Tony, to sometimes on the tee, to Wildy and Tausch. Chris, Homer and I will answer what the shows can't.
All right, start off pole dancing here with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, which you can hear weekdays 7 to 9 across ESPN Milwaukee. On Sunday Karma, Craig Karmazin said that Brian Gutekunst, Packers GM, cost the Packers 2 trips to the Super Bowl. Do you agree with that assessment? No, 72%. Yes, 28%.
No, simply because it's 2 trips to the Super Bowl. Like, I could justify one, but it's so hard to make 2 trips to the Super Bowl, considering that even after Aaron Rodgers won his first in the 2010, I guess that was the 2011 Super Bowl, that he hadn't been back, and that all wasn't Goody. It's really just been the last 4 years of Goot that I can't do no, even though I do think he could have done a better job of team building around Aaron Rodgers and these 13-3 seasons.
Yeah, I would probably say one as well. He hasn't been around long enough to justify 2, but the premise that everything depends on the general manager is correct. That it's all about the players that you have when you have a quarterback, and Rodgers maybe is a reason they didn't make 1 as well. So if they should have made 2, I would say 1 is on Rodgers.
Yeah,
1 would be on the GM.
I would say 2021 against the Niners. Like that 100% is on Aaron Rodgers. The defense did their job.
Right.
You can't lose 13-10 at home in a playoff game at Lambeau Field.
Right. So there's
and be the MVP that season and play that poorly.
But I don't. The only reason I don't like that is I don't think it means. I don't think Goody's been horrible as a general manager. I don't think he's been necessarily great, but too often it's looked just at the draft, and that's not. You look at the assessment of him putting a roster together.
Well, you say too often it's looked at the draft, but you also will be the first, and I agree to point out that free agency isn't something the Packers are active on. So
like
you really
players that they've picked up that they didn't draft that have been pretty good as well. It's he got free agents when he first came that helped the defense. So overall, how has he done putting a roster together? I don't know. C+, B-.
I have him right there as well. I was going to say B- because ultimately they were 13-3 for 3 straight years, and you can't be a crappy GM.
Right. And how well
Aaron Rodgers helps that, but finding he actually didn't find Aaron Jones. I think that was a Ted Thompson draft pick, but he did re-sign him. Found the value in Aaron Jones. Finding Rasul Douglas and Devondre Campbell were great things that he was able to do.
The biggest complaint with Goody, and it just doesn't make any sense, is his refusal to draft early wide receivers, even when he had good wide receivers, which is something that Ted Thompson did and made the offense as good as it was during those stretches. And he just, for years, didn't take anybody. Or when he took them later. And when he took them later, they weren't any good. And they just have been void of the depth of wide receivers. And especially as the game in the NFL has changed. Offensive teams are doing way better, getting to Super Bowls, even if the defense isn't as good. And so that's the part, to me, that Goody has failed terribly, as past GMs did, even when offenses weren't as important as they are now. I don't know.
He's had a hard time adapting to the
right, but even
because he's living in drafting in the same style.
But even
of Ted
when
Thompson.
the defenses were more important, he still didn't do it. So I don't know why he doesn't appreciate the importance of wide receivers, given he worked here. He saw what Ted Thompson did and how much it helped the team.
Yeah, I think what bothers me most is when the Packers were at their best, like their best season over the last 4 years was the 2020 season, which they lost to the Bucs. And what I loved about that team is they were the best offense. Like, they were number 1 in the NFL. They were number 1 offense, number 1 red zone. And when you need to win in any sport, you need to know what your strengths are and play to them to the fullest. In 2021, their offense was good, but not as good as 2020. And their defense was okay. They showed up for one game, but the offense wasn't the offense in 2020. And so I thought there was, and many people did think, there was an opportunity there to continue to bolster your strength. And they didn't bolster their strength. They kind of just leveled out. And that, to me, bothers me when I think about maybe
they had
why.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
they
did.
Horrible in the red zone.
They did, but they didn't continue to add. They were okay with Al Lazard as the number 2.
Yeah. No, the last 2 years.
And MVS actually was hurt that year, and that didn't help.
The last 2 years, the problem has been the offense in terms of what was necessary in order to go far in the playoffs. The defense, other teams, but Kansas City's defense was almost identical to the Packers over the course of the year. They win the Super Bowl.
Chris?
Sticking with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy here, if the NFL decided to do away with kickoffs altogether, would that bother you? Yes, 64%. No, 36%.
The only reason why it would bother me is because I think there's something cool about, like, the initial kick at noon on a Sunday. Like, it's just more of a nostalgic thing. Knowing that, like, when the ball is kicked off, like, what are they going to, there's a tip in basketball, there's a puck drop in hockey, there's a kickoff in soccer, there's a first pitch in baseball, like, there's, like, what are they going to do, the first snap? Like, so just more of a nostalgia thing. I wouldn't really care, like, kickoffs aren't that exciting in the NFL anymore anyways, other than when Keyshawn Nixon makes them exciting every now and again. He did a great job with that, but overall, kickoffs are kind of boring. Like, they're not as fun anymore because there's so many rules to try and hurt, not players, but hurt the excitement of a kickoff. There's no more Devin Hesters and Cordell Pattersons in their prime. It's kind of lame. And so I can see going away with it. It'd just be this nostalgic part of me of the kickoff being gone.
They've already eliminated it to such a degree that if you liked it, you're not seeing it now much anyway. So they're just trying to figure out when and how do we just eliminate the whole thing. They don't want it. Players get hurt. You would think there would be some way you could adjust it to where the speed and the collisions weren't as great. They haven't come up with that, and so yeah, it's been eliminated to a large degree already. So
yeah, again, like I said, it's already on its way.
Yeah, I mean, if you can come up with a creative way to have less speed, but then that takes away the beauty of the game.
What if you had to onside kick if you had the first kick?
I don't know if people would get more hurt on. Yeah, they want to leave. They want to have onside kick still available.
Yeah, I wonder what's more dangerous: an onside kick when you're just like looking at the ball and can get drilled, or the full speed.
I'm assuming the full speed, but that's part of the. They haven't figured out what you can do for a team from behind if you don't have a kickoff.
What if you had to onside kick the opening kickoff and the halftime kickoff?
Sure.
Just change it up.
Right,
that way the kickoff stays. And everyone has to do it.
Right. The discussion we're having means that you're accepting they've eliminated it. So just throw us a little. We want to see one a game. But then if they can kick it off into the end zone, then you're not going to see it.
Ball can't go further than 20 yards. Otherwise, I don't know. I'm shoot from the hip here.
People like the kickoff. It's exciting.
I like onside kicks.
And that too when it's close, but they've decided they don't want them because it's dangerous. So,
Chris,
move on to Rutledge and Hamilton, which you can hear weekdays 2 to 4 on 100.5 ESPN Madison. Would it help Jordan Love's development if the Packers brought in a veteran quarterback? Yes, 56%. No, 44%.
The only answer here is yes. Because Sean Clifford and Danny Etling isn't putting pressure, and pressure is the wrong word. It's not helping Jordan Love's development. You want to do everything to help Jordan Love's development, and competition brings the best out of people. Because when you're in a building with competition, you feel as if you have to compete for your spot every single day, and that brings out the best of people in sports. And so even if it is someone who's a veteran who can teach, but also can go out there and make throws that might be better than you just because he's been around a little bit longer, it challenges you to do the same. I hate that their quarterback room is so weak unless their plan is just to stink. Because if Jordan Love gets hurt, they're not winning a damn game with Sean Clifford. I can tell you that much.
I'm with you. I would assume they don't want to spend the money, maybe, but yeah, there's definitely a benefit to having a a veteran quarterback there for all the things that you mentioned. They just don't want to do it, and I don't know if it's money or you hope it's money because the other option is to think that they don't want Jordan Love to have to deal with that competition or pressure or whatever.
If that is the reason, then
right. That would be a bad sign. But I think it's more, again, proving you that it's to some degree rebuilding because, you know, if he gets hurt, you'd want to have somebody in there who could play well and you could still win games. But all the reasons you mentioned are a reason to have one, but they don't see any benefit or don't want to spend the money to do it.
And to wrap up here on pole dancing, let's go to Homer and Tony, which you can hear weekdays 2 to 4.
Yeah, about time. Why have we been waiting this long?
We're saving the best for last.
Will the Packers, with Brian Gutekunst as general manager, ever win a Super Bowl? No, 55%. Yes, 45%.
I think the answer is no. Mostly because of the unknown of what happens after Mark Murphy steps down. He's pretty tied in with the organizational structure that is, you know, Ron Wolf, Goot, Murphy. You know, you can kind of add LaFleur in there. But if a lot of hinges on Jordan Love, even if Jordan Love is good and the Packers are bad, it's like, all right, your legacy is moving on from Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers, and then you guys are good. Like, what's your resume? Like, how good are you at drafting? I thought you were a player development scouting guy that became GM. Like, it just, the unknown of who comes after Mark Murphy doesn't give him, to me, the longevity that he would need right now because I don't think they're set up for a Super Bowl within the next 3 years with the unknowns that there are.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say no because there's nothing special. What about the Packers? And even with special quarterbacks, they only won 2 in the last 30 years. But what is special about the Packers in any way, shape, or form? Coach, GM, offense.
Matt LaFleur's eyebrows?
Yeah, nothing. So when
Aaron Jones playmaking?
Okay, when you don't have anything special.
Keyshawn Nixon kickoffs?
That'd be the closest, but they're eliminating
I know.
that. So
I know.
But
They signed the guy and they're eliminating kickoffs.
What you always had special was the quarterback, and then when they won, they had special in defense. Charles Woodson or different. There's, who's special? I mean,
Jair?
Yeah, maybe, but he doesn't even seem to have that many interceptions to create plays.
Well, I mean, if you're not thrown at because you're that good, that's a good sign for a cornerback.
Great cornerbacks have always been able to get interceptions.
That's completely untrue.
Well, just look
Darrelle Revis.
Look up the Hall of Fame.
Revis Island.
Look up the Hall of Fame numbers.
You're showing your age again, Homer.
No, I'm showing the history of the game.
What do you think about this text, Homer? Sadler and Madison. I agree with Homer. Benny, get on your knees and bow down to Homer. Homer is the man, and you're just a kid in a man's body. Homer, you are smarter than Ben Brust.
I don't know that that's the case.
Thank you, Homer. I'm on my knees right now. I love you, Homer.
I just have opinions just like everybody else does. I think mine are right, and other people do as well. And
have you ever thought your own opinion was wrong? Have you ever admitted being wrong?
Yeah, but I think when I admitted I was wrong, I changed. I admitted that the NFL has changed for all these years. And again, going back to Lombardi, in order for the Packers to win a Super Bowl, they had to have one of the top 2 defenses in the league. In the last 6 or 7 years, the teams making the Super Bowl, winning and losing, have all been in the top 10 offensively. And for the first time, bad defenses or average defenses have been winning. Last 2 years, Kansas City and the Rams, their defenses and points given up are like 16th and 15th. Those teams for years had no chance to win the Super Bowl. Now, offense, given anybody watching the NFL realizes they moved in that direction, so offense has now become even more important. And you can win with a defense that's iffy.
DeAndre Hopkins, released by the Cardinals. Would you take him with the Pack? We'll tell you why yes or no next on Scalzo and Brust.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
I just picture Ben in his gamer chair, playing video games, yelling to his guys. And meanwhile, there's this poor 80-year-old woman who's got a broken arm, scared to go back out and figure out how to get her trash out.
Hey, old lady, suck it up.
Scalzo and Brust, available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
We do have Some delays still left over, but they're very small. We've got eastbound basically from 68th Street to about Hawley Road, so there's a very small spot there. Northbound 43 in pockets from north of Fond du Lac Avenue up past Capitol. Northbound 41 is a little bit tight from about Wisconsin Avenue up past Swan Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, mainly clear, a low of 46 at the lakefront, 41 inland. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 68 at the lake, 75 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Magoo's on the Mound is your game day headquarters. Located on 59th and Blue Mound, just minutes from the ballpark. Magoo's has food options for everyone and a vast selection of craft beers and cocktails. Enjoy some drinks and watch all the games with your buds. Or stay entertained with pool, darts, trivia, poker, or live music. Plus, Magoo's on the Mound offers plenty of free parking and shuttles to all home games for the crew. Check out their food and drink menu as well as upcoming events at magoos.biz. That's magoos.biz.
My name is Adrienne, and I was hurt in a car accident. What Gruber Lofts has done for me was made me feel safe. It didn't cost me anything, just one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Lofts today. One call, that's all.
Steinhaffel's biggest Memorial Day sale is happening now. Get a Ninja 7-in-1 Master Grill with your purchase of $49.99 or more. Then take an extra $100 off your purchase of $19.99 or more. Take an extra 15% off our already reduced clearance center prices. Plus, with Steinhaffel's special 72-month financing, your new room just got even more affordable. The Memorial Day sales event, only at Steinhaffel's and steinhaffels.com.
So, I have a question for all you guys out there. Why is it that I see you hauling all kinds of stuff in your trucks? Lumber, ATVs, furniture, and everything is strapped down tight. Except you. I mean, come on, fellas. You're just as important as your buddy's blue plaid sofa. Buckle up.
Pickups rock. They also roll. Buckle up in your truck and arrive alive. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Even when you think you know what's going on, you can never be too sure.
I liked my analogy. I thought it was wonderful.
It's so confusing.
Packers, nonsense, chaos.
He's saying that people don't dislike Giannis, they just don't understand Giannis. And it's like when you see somebody wearing a different outfit and your first instinct is to be like, what a weird outfit.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Why couldn't you have said it that succinctly?
Because I'm not real smart.
Morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Come back to, and you never come back, and you never come back to. I can never forget it. Promise me that you don't regret it. You and I were together, even though we both knew better.
Scalzo and Brust presented by Michelob Ultra on a Memorial Day weekend Friday. Hope you're on your way to have a nice beverage, preferably a Michelob Ultra.
Yeah, we can't have them in the studio though, right? Violation of some rule.
They're right outside the door here, Homer.
Okay.
Right for after the show. I got one waiting for you. DeAndre Hopkins, the wide receiver, well, I guess now formerly of the Arizona Cardinals, was released today After 3 years, they're taking a cap hit of $22.6 million to move on from him, making him a free agent. And over the last 3-4 years, it's been, well, should the Packers get a free agent? Should they trade for somebody in the middle of the season? I see some people saying, hey, he'd be great for the Packers, and I just couldn't disagree more. He is a veteran wide receiver. He's probably likely looking to win now. Doesn't want to build something with a quarterback that he's never seen throw a football before. And it's almost like the timing is terrible because it would have made sense 2 years ago. Or, maybe if they were releasing him now, it's crazy that the Packers are last year in the middle of the season when they were making a run or trying to make a run, didn't try to offer some sort of compensation because they're literally just releasing him on a cap hit of $22 million and just letting him go. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, there's no chance. The Packers have more likely that they would sign me than him. He's not going to want to come to the Packers.
Yeah, I know, and it's funny because
I would only tell you I did an event where James Jones spoke, and I said, well, who would be a good veteran receiver for the Packers to get? And he said DeAndre Hopkins because knowing what you had to do to work well and work quickly with Aaron Rodgers, he thought that DeAndre Hopkins would be perfect in that regard. Well, but I mean, if I'm DeAndre Hopkins, I don't know, if I'm any wide receiver, I want to play for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. If they've been able to try and find the money to make it work, I mean, maybe build it in a lot on incentives, knowing that they're likely going to go to the playoffs and have a chance to win another Super Bowl. And him and Travis Kelce would be unfair with Patrick Mahomes.
Or I'm again, based on what James Jones said, I would assume that it would fit with the Jets in terms of feeling about a veteran that would adapt very quickly to Rodgers. But
so here's the interesting part about the DeAndre Hopkins story here. He appeared on the I Am Athlete podcast, and he listed the 5 QBs he'd most like to catch passes from. Josh Allen from the Bills, Jalen Hurts from the Eagles, Chargers Justin Herbert, Chiefs Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson from Baltimore. Nowhere on that list is Aaron Rodgers, and the Jets are approaching the season as a win-now Super Bowl season, and he doesn't even listen to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is always the guy saying, I can get free agents. There was a defensive tackle who didn't even come to play for the Jets. He chose to play at I think Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know their relationship. I just know what James Jones said, and I don't know why he didn't pick to want to play with Rodgers. That I just don't know. But I think do
you think it's a person? Do you think Rodgers is just not liked by players?
No, I don't know. A lot of players have wanted to play with him, and some didn't. I don't have any idea.
Even the Devontae Adams comments are weird because after this season, Devontae Adams said it was nice to prove to everyone that I didn't need Aaron Rodgers. I think there was a minority of people, like a vocal minority, saying that, but anyone with a brain would know that Devontae Adams is a good receiver even without Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but his point was well taken. If you thought that some of the reason he was as good as he was because of Rodgers, then you couldn't think it to the same degree. Just make it easier give people one less excuse. But receivers are crazy. We all know that. So you never know what particular belief they had. But
why are wide receivers crazy?
I don't know. They just seem to be nuts. They act differently. Their demands are different. So I'm not saying that what he said is inaccurate because it's true. I mean, we had a debate. Does Aaron Rodgers make all the receivers better? I think he does because he throws the ball in the right spot, and it seems to me he doesn't throw them in as many situations where they could get hurt.
Yes, that is something that he's pretty good about, not leading them into somebody crossing across the middle.
Were people saying that part of the reason Devontae Adams was so good is because he played with Aaron Rodgers? Yes. Do they say that to the same degree now? No.
I just think that was made up in Devontae's head in order to help motivate him to have a great season. But what I will say is, I think it also, there was a game or a couple games where Devontae had, 1 catch for 8 yards.
Sure.
Then he would have 12 catches, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns.
He had a great game at the end of the year.
Oh, baby.
with the backup quarterback. So, no, I think if you wanted to hold that against him, then you can't do it to the same degree. The numbers are such that it probably wouldn't matter. But I don't know what's in his head. It's there's accuracy to what he said. Does that mean that was really that important and that drove him? No, I don't think that did. I think he, like all players, he has a certain standard and he's really good. And will that help him get into the Hall of Fame? A little bit. If he had played totally with Aaron Rodgers, would there have been some that would have said, yeah, but Rodgers just made him that much better?
Yeah, but if you do it over a long period of time, Correct. It doesn't matter who your quarterback is.
Right, and you're probably going to have somebody else at some point.
I just really find it interesting that Lamar Jackson is on this list, right? Like, because the quote is, QBs that DeAndre Hopkins would like to catch passes from. And I think Lamar Jackson's an okay passer. Like, he's not as bad as people make him out to be, but he's not Aaron Rodgers.
No, I'd agree with you. I would think Rodgers would have been on there.
And so it just, I wish there was a way to quantify or even qualify is it personal or is it performance-based? Because there's always that divide when Aaron Rodgers gets brought up of, do you not like him because of stuff that he's done off the field, or you not like him because you don't think he's any good?
My answer to the Hopkins is you're wrong. If you don't want to play, if you don't want to catch the balls thrown by Aaron Rodgers, you're just wrong. I don't know what the reason is, but that's stupid. He can make you. Nobody has said that Aaron Rodgers made Devontae Adams worse. I mean, so whatever his reason is, if in fact he would prevent it from playing with Rodgers, he's just wrong.
Well, you can't go wrong with Screaming Sicilian, honestly, because they have the thin and crispy. They have the 2.5 feet of stuffed crushed cheese and the I'm stuffed Screaming Sicilian pizza. Also the OGs. You have the Boss Hog, which is the sausage. You have the Bessie's Revenge, which is their version of the cheese. Holy Pepperoni speaks for itself. A Deluxe, a Supremus Maximus, a Mother of Meat. And Chris, you're filling in for Joshy, the Mambo Italiano. Mambo. Getting better at it, baby. Getting better at it. I love it. And we're going to be giving away some Palermos here with free beer and free pizza Friday coming up next here on Scalzo and Brust. So stay tuned for your chance to win a case of One Barrel Brewing's Ninja Dust IPA, great for the summer. And, of course, the always delicious Screamin' Sicilian Pizza. Next on Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Michelob Ultra.
You are a Hall of Fame at mocking others. I didn't think there was a third way you could go, and you just did it. In honor of Scalzo, no one rips other people better. There's no limit. I'll bet he could come up with number 4 if we gave him 5 minutes.
5 minutes? If you give him 30 seconds.
Scalzo and Brust. Available anywhere you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Jordan Love has been extended.
This means Goody is a genius.
Are they ready for him to be the guy?
Jordan Love is just, you know what, man, I haven't proven it. I need to go out and prove this. And when I do, y'all are going to be paying me.
React to the news and get ready for the Love era in Green Bay right here.
The moment was not too big for him. You could see that.
On 94.5 ESPN and streaming live every day on WisconsinOnDemand.com, Twitter, and YouTube.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely going to need a cold one. There's the one. Back again with my pal, Peter Gentry, the owner of One Barrel Brewing Company. They're one of my personal favorites and are located here in Wisconsin. Peter's going to give us all the secrets about what makes the Ninja Dust great for summer.
Ninja Dust is an elusive drink, just like the Ninja that you've seen in movies. You want to have that one probably when you're feeling a little more fun, ready to party, maybe ready to go out. What makes Ninja unique is it's really refreshing. Kind of goes with all of our beers. Crushable, easy to drink. It's got a little more kick to it, as most IPAs do, but you're not going to get that sort of really bitter post IPA on your tongue, so it's basically a good IPA for everybody to drink.
That's Peter from One Barrel Brewing Company. I'm excited to get my hands on some Ninja Dust this summer. And remember, folks, the fridge is always stocked.
Backed by popular demand, head to the HD Museum campus Thursday, June 1st through Sunday, June 4th for the HD Factory Outlet Summer Sale on discontinued Harley-Davidson motor clothes, merchandise, and select officially licensed products. Don't miss this chance to shop over 4,000 items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, outerwear, hats, gloves, leather jackets, and so much more. While supplies last, the HD Factory Outlet at the Harley-Davidson Museum is your destination for discontinued HD merchandise.
This is going to be interesting, so pay attention.
Mountains and trees.
Ducks and hunting dogs.
Dinosaur bones.
Meteorites.
Steel that's carved like the leather stirrups on a Western saddle.
Damascus steel.
Like they make swords out of.
Carbon fiber.
Hardwood.
Manly things.
Hardwood.
You already said that.
I know. I just like the sound of it. Hardwood.
It does have a nice ring to it.
Ring. I see what you did there.
I'm sorry. I got us off track.
Kessler's has wedding bands for men.
Real men.
Made of manly things.
He wants you to wear a big, beautiful diamond so that everyone you meet will know how much he loves you.
Why not insist that he wear something equally cool?
You'll tell your grandkids about the day you went shopping for this wedding band at Kessler's when they ask,
"Where did you get such a cool ring? And what is it made of?"
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
The Club at Lac La Belle is the birthplace of golf in Wisconsin, with a rich history you will feel once you arrive. Experience a round at the Club at Lac La Belle. The redesigned course is open to the public 7 days a week. Schedule your tee time today at clubatlaclabelle.com. This is a golf destination that you will want to play over and over again, and enjoy fine dining and event space after your round. An historic past meets a vibrant future. Go to clubatlaclabelle.com to start your journey.
Even when you think you know what's going on.
He wasn't all defensive.
The guy in Chicago, Darvish.
You can never be too sure.
Josh.
You, Darvish.
No! The guy that screwed over Rogers.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
In the voting.
Now I'm interested.
Herb Atkins.
Hub Arkish.
There you go.
Morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. It's free beer and free pizza Friday on Scalzo and Brust. Stay tuned to win a case of beer from Ben's Beer Fridge and the overtop deliciousness of a screamin' Sicilian pizza. Whew, it's so screamin' good.
Save me, save me, save me.
We made it, Wisconsin! We made it. The saxophone song is a sign that a beer is in my future. And beer and pizza might be in yours because it is free beer and free pizza Friday. More sound on the sax, Chris. Thank you. Scalzo and Brust presented by Michelob Ultra. Homer in for Greg Scalzo. I'm Ben Brust. Chris Larson holding it down. Oh, feels so good. So,
who is this?
This is Jubel. Jubel. That could either be the name of the song or the artist. I don't know. That's just what I search on my Spotify when I want to listen to it. So, I definitely messed up my lawn last weekend, Homer, because I did a fake no mow May, which apparently...
A fake? Okay.
Yeah, like I acted as if I was doing no mow May when I was just lazy. And so my grass is uneven, it's chopped up, it's horrible, it looks terrible. So this is my weekend to redeem myself by letting the bad, short, long, lifting my mower up and down sort of happen. I'm just going to continue to recut my grass here because I made a mistake. No mow May is a joke.
Now, again, it's for bees? Is that what it is?
For bees. It's for bees. It's for pollen to come out and nectar from the wildflowers and all of that.
Okay, this makes for some weird-looking lawns. It's just random.
So, do you
Totally
have it in your
random.
neighborhood?
Yeah, oh yeah. mean, different neighborhoods you go into, I assume that's the case.
So what I've learned is I got a blister from mowing the lawn, which is like almost impossible to do because I'm just like an idiot. My goal is to get working gloves from the department store. Like some, do you wear gloves when you're picking weeds or any of that?
Yeah, well, yeah, but not when you're mowing the lawn.
Yeah, not when I'm mowing the lawn, but I need some gloves for the lawn to get in the
they got all
nitty-gritty.
kinds of gloves. You can get gloves everywhere.
So gloves are on the list. I need a gas canister because a quarter of my lawn in the front.
Yeah, gas canisters are a problem. They have all these rules now that are paying for.
What? I can't just fill my gas canister up?
It's more complicated than you think. Yes.
What do you mean it's more complicated?
You just know it's just.
I can't go to the department store and get a canister and fill it up at the gas station.
You can.
Because my lawnmower shut off and part of my lawn is still no mow right now.
You give people an update on buying a game.
Am I going to get arrested?
No, it's just not as simple as like just something where you pour it in and no, there are different ways to have that the canisters you buy now for whatever eco reasons or whatever. So no, it's been that way for years. They're a pain.
As a yard homeowner, is there anything else that I need?
No, I mean Milorganite is awesome. Put that on your lawn.
Malort?
Yeah, it's like but anyway, it helps your grass grow and be green and stuff like that. Yeah.
All right.
Other than that, but yeah, no. I
got some spots that I burned out from tipping the lawnmower.
You can handle that. There's no problem taking that. But yeah, I'm curious to see how you feel about the gas can. Pebble, you bought a gas can recently in the last X number of years?
No, what I need it for.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe just randomly ran into it.
Robin Madison, 800-990-3776. Welcome into Scalzo and Brust. Any tips?
Yeah, don't buy gloves. Just keep on working unless you're picking thistles. Unless it's very cold, don't wear gloves. Get calloused up and work, or you're just going to keep on getting blisters anytime you don't have gloves.
That's actually good advice.
Up. Yeah,
no, my feet are all calloused up because I've gotten so many blisters I can't get blisters as much anymore. Is that kind of what you're getting at for my hands?
What was the gas can question you guys are trying to figure out?
Like, can I just buy a canister and fill it up the gas station for my lawnmower?
Well, yeah.
Homer's making it seem like there's all these rules.
You buy one and then.
So there's Weed Whacker, like 2-stroke mixed gas, but then you got straight gas for like a mower.
Correct.
So
yeah, straight gas. Just go buy a canister for straight gas.
I do not buy like the mixing stuff because it's usually garbage.
This isn't about the mixing stuff. This is about
what is the music going on there?
It's the cue that we got to let you go, Rob. 800-990-3776. Caller 1 in Madison. Caller 1 in Milwaukee. A case of Ninja Dust IPA is waiting for you. A great summer IPA, great brewery, plus some Screamin' Sicilian pizza. Caller 1 in Madison. Caller 1 in Milwaukee. 800-990-3776. Have a weekend, Wisconsin!
Buying the canister will be a story.
Wrapping things up with one accident on 94 eastbound, right about at 68th Street. Watch out, it's off on the left shoulder. But for the most part, everybody's getting past it without too much of a problem. Where we are seeing some delays, though, is on 41 southbound. Kind of heavy ones, too. From Capitol Drive all the way to Mayfair Road. And one other heavy spot, southbound 43, right as you're crossing over the county line from Ozaukee County into Milwaukee County. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 48 at the lakefront, 41 inland. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 68 at the lake, 75 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.